Morning, everyone. Friday, May 22nd, I believe. Getting ready for a long weekend. I hope you enjoy your long weekend. Get out, be safe, enjoy the weather, all that good stuff. Kind of the unofficial kickoff to the summer, at least it is for me. It will be interesting to see what we do this weekend, but I wish you and yours all the best. A couple of quick things before we get into the daily news. First off, we are approaching 7,000 subscribers to this YouTube channel, which is just awesome. Love to see if we can't get over that number by the end of the long weekend. We're about, I think we're about 98 subscribers short. So if you are watching this and enjoying our daily financial news, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. Help us get over that 7,000 mark this weekend. Just kind of fun to see a 7 number on the front of the subscribers. That would be greatly appreciated. Again, we do these financial news updates about 7:30 a.m. Pacific, 7 days a week. So if you want to understand what's going on, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. That'd be greatly appreciated. The other thing I really want to talk about is I announced yesterday in a separate live stream, or actually I think it was a video, a new challenge. One of the things that I see here, being out of the workforce now for a couple of years, trying to help inspire new investors, specifically in buy and hold real estate, is I would love to see folks take on that 75-day challenge that I put out yesterday. That 75-day hard challenge, first and foremost, is inspired by the original, right? Let's not pretend that this was my original idea. I'm clearly copying something that has worked to transform people's physical appearance, right? Work out twice a day, drink a gallon of water, all of those good things. But I took that discipline, which has been a part of my existence since starting a sales career, and tried to adapt it for real estate investors, specifically targeting new real estate investors. So take a look at that 75-day hard challenge. Again, you could do all of those things without spending a penny. It's just time. And what I would tell you is, how bad do you want it? There's nothing in that challenge that is hard or complicated. If you want it, let's see. It's going to take probably an hour of your day when you put all of those things together, but you're going to see what I mean by focus and discipline. That 75-day challenge for real estate investors is something I'm still trying to improve and make better, but I'd love to get your feedback. Please take a look at that. So I digress. Let's talk about the financial news of the day. First and foremost, it was nice to see Joe Biden. I saw him, I think I caught him on CNBC this morning. I hadn't seen him in a while. He is clearly going to be the Democratic nomination, and if we're going to have a two-party race, I want to hear the other guy talk. So what I took from his discussion is he's clearly going to repeal some tax cuts that were put into existence in the current administration. He wants to raise taxes on corporations. He is not a fan of Amazon. He had a quote, and I actually had to listen to it twice just to make sure I caught it right. He said, Amazon should start paying taxes. Well, I don't think that's fair, Joe. I promise you Amazon is paying everything that's legally required. If you want Amazon to pay more taxes, you need to change the tax code. Don't hate the player, hate the game, right? So if you want to change the game, change the rules. So I didn't think that statement was very fair. He's clearly pandering to folks. Amazon came out right away with a tweet saying we're paying everything that's legally required, as they should. That was kind of an unfair statement, I thought. Obviously, Joe went after the public health response. He didn't offer what he would do. He just complained what is doing is wrong, which is not okay, I don't think. He did talk about helping states, California, New York. So, I mean, again, pandering for votes. Hey, Joe, you don't need to pander to New York and California. You're going to get those states anyways. They're so blue, it's scary. So Don't piss off the rest of the country by pandering to those two states that you win anyway. If I was your coach, that's silly. And the other thing he said was, we need to pay employees a decent wage. And again, he's just saying words, but I don't get it, right? Unemployment, or I'm sorry, unemployment. Oof. Uh, Minimum wage, right? In lots of areas, certainly should be higher. But again, if you want to go after it, let's tell us who it is. And then lastly, Joe, I am waiting to see who your running mate is, right? Who is going to be there with you? Because we all know every time a president is elected, they are one heartbeat away from us getting your VP. So let's see who your running mate is, and also let's see you on TV more talking about what you would do different. Let's see what's going on. So the other thing that I see is I see a lot of losses being built up in the banking system, and as I've started to say the last couple of weeks, that frightens me. I think we have 4.7 million people in forbearance now. I think a lot of that will be worked out given the tweaks. We also have 3.1 million people late on residential real estate, which is a problem, which is not in forbearance. They're late because they don't have a Freddie or Fannie loan. So we do have another number that's ballooning. We have commercial loans that are ballooning, well over $1 billion now. They're kind of in forbearance, and these are just all things I'm looking at. Credit cards delinquencies are up. It's really going to get interesting what happens to all of this, including rent collection, when the additional stimulus and the unemployment kind of go away. It is clear that right now there's not a big appetite to extend unemployment past July. It'll be interesting if that's true. My sneaky suspicion is the current administration will not I think the current administration will extend them just to help with voting through November. I think that is interesting. So that's something to go on. Something I saw is, again, this health crisis is really hurting once thought to be untouchable economies. Dubai, I don't know if you've looked at Dubai, kind of obviously they were a travel hotspot. They were trying to diversify their economy out of oil. It was a great goal, but it looks like they are really being impacted with the travel ban and the like. They're forecasting that 70% of their companies will be out of business in 6 months. That's going to hurt. Now, some kind of news from corporations. John Deere, actually beat expectations. But what I took from their earnings announcement is they expect sales of equipment to be down 30 to 40% for the year. That's pretty big time, right? That really just goes to kind of the L-shaped recovery, or what I call the K-shaped recovery in a past video. There's going to be winners and losers. This is going to be a slow road back. Watch Deere, watch Caterpillar, right, for those kind of infrastructure plays. That's why I think, and I've said many times, that coming out of this exit, we have to have $1 trillion infrastructure play just to get the wheels in the economy going and get currency floating through the system and all of that. Best Buy sales actually did quite well, right? They had a wave of early buying, right? People buying new computers and webcams and all of that, or buying computers with video. So their same sales were expected to drop 10%, but only dropped 5 and a 5.3. So again, I think Best Buy did the best they could in a tough environment. Curbside pickup, appointments. Again, people are changing their business model. Again, getting through this health event so that they can thrive later is awesome and well done. BJ wholesalers actually did quite well, right? They were expected to make 37 cents. They made 69 cents. So call that an 80% beat. Their digital sales grew 350%, right? So people that are doing online and then they're using delivery, crushing it. Under Armour, we've talked about a couple of times, Adidas and Nike kicking its butt. They've just gone out and looked to raise $400 million in a senior note offering. Again, the Fed is open for business. This again is a concern for me. right? The Fed is clearly adding liquidity for these companies to move forward. But what's the price to pay, right? We are going to have a balance sheet recession, a lot of debt being added to companies, and that's going to restrict growth, capital investment, employee rehires later. But again, you got to do it today. Is interesting. I don't know if you caught this. I actually might do a separate live stream on this because I think it was really meaningful. But Facebook came out yesterday and basically said, we're going to go hire the best talent anywhere you are. And oh, by the way, if you are a current employee and choose to move, let us know. Um, so the Silicon Valley is going to get smaller. It is going to get less crowded. The wave of engineers and computer scientists and PhDs that come here for work and ultimately keep the price of real estate ridiculously high is going to subside over the next several years. I have already heard, just in my small circle, 5 or 6 people that have put their housing search on hold. They are going to see how it unfolds over the next 6 to 8 weeks, and most of those are looking out of state, right? They are going to go to a state-friendly or state without income or state income tax. Right now, the leaders are Nevada and Texas. So we'll see if that holds, but it is going to be interesting. And I think Facebook did this first on reason or for a reason. I think they want to attract engineers first. I think it is clear that Alphabet/Google will do it. Twitter came out the other day. We are going to see tech companies aggressively search talent in other areas. They're going to get them cheaper, no doubt, but they're also going to probably get more of them. So I think Facebook is really did this on purpose to send a shot across the bow of other engineers come to us first, right? It's kind of the first mover advantage, which I thought was interesting. Next up, China and Hong Kong are back in the news. I don't know if you've seen this. China is basically instituting some additional restrictions and quote unquote laws that will impact Hong Kong. And people are not liking it, right? Real money is not liking it. Hong Kong stock market was down 5% just yesterday, but the real estate sector was down 10%. This is going to be a big deal, right? There will be stuff done over the weekend and whatnot. It's some people are calling it the end of Hong Kong. So we may see money exit Hong Kong some way, somehow, and look for a home. So a lot of stuff going on. We need to watch that. Remember, we talked about Hong Kong, 6 months ago when the protests were going on. It's not resolved. I don't know if this is out there before. I had not seen that. The China economy shrank 6.8% in Q1. And they actually withdrew the GDP targets for the year, which I thought was interesting. Everybody says China's data is manipulated, which I say as well. But the fact that they didn't have the balls to put out a target for the year really tells you how bad it is. Just real quick, we've had a couple of comments about Biden. Please don't take my comments as pro or con any of Joe Biden. I just want to see the race. I want to know who's in the race, and I want to see their policies. Yeah, I haven't seen him in freaking 60 days or something. So it's going to be interesting to see if he's going to hold it together, because there's a lot of folks talking about his what do you call it, mental acuity falling. I'm going to be watching for that. It will be interesting to see what's going on, because again, he's one of 2 people that could be sitting in that hot seat after November. So we need to figure out what he's going to do potentially to the economy, right? So again, I'm not pro or against. Once we get to the end, we'll see who's in it. So and then lastly, we had a bunch of tech companies, kind of old tech, kind of report some pretty disgusting numbers. IBM, is going to cut thousands of jobs here in the next year. HP is going to try to find $1 billion in cost savings. Just some nasty numbers. Foot Locker, same store sales were down 42.8%. Just ouch. And then Ross Stores. Remember I talked about the kitchen sink quarter probably a week ago? I'm wondering if Ross Stores had theirs this quarter. People were expecting Ross Stores to have 3 cents gain, right? Earnings per share. But they came in at 87-cent loss. That's kind of a big miss, right? And then the last thing I found, there's been a lot of new accounts on Robinhood. Robinhood seems to be the platform of date for the, I'll call it the younger investors. I think that's fair. It looks like there was a top trade ETF that they were all following. It was the double short oil ETF. Everyone in the Robinhood account was probably expecting the oil contract to go negative like last month, right? Last month, remember we talked about it, went like negative $32. So the new investors, of course, the contract came due, I think it was yesterday, and they went all in. It was a top 20 trade on Robinhood this week, and it went poof on Tuesday, meaning it had zero value. Again, folks, when everybody expects something like the contract to go negative 32 again, likely doesn't happen a second time because the big players are there with empty oil tankers to take that oil. But again, sometimes new investors need to learn the hard way. What worked last time won't work this time. And again, I thought it was interesting to see a top trade, right? One of their top 20 most traded stocks, in this case an ETF, just went to zero this week. So lessons learned. We all need to learn one time. And I remember learning in the dot-com crash. So I have the scars and I know what it feels like. All right, that's what I got for the day. It is a long, long weekend, 3 days for you. So enjoy it, have fun. The start of summer, let's be positive. If you can help me get to 7,000 subscribers by Monday, that'd be cool. I'd appreciate it. Have a wonderful day. I will likely do a couple of live streams on different topics today that I've been tracking. But I want you to have a wonderful day. That is our financial news. Take care.